Hello, my name's Alana Beltran and I'm a visual artist or also an environmentalist or an activist you could say, and I've been described as an artivist, and that's somebody who brings art and environmentalism or any kind of activism together. So activism and art, it's artivist, and that means that what we're doing is using our art and our creative process to create something that has a positive visual image that comes out to our community and our society and has an impact on the way we think, the way we see. So anything that I do basically at the end of the day is always having a message, and I'm trying to communicate what I can about this beautiful environment that we have and our ability to work with what we have now in our current state, 2012, where we have all sorts of environmental issues, pollution, and logging of old growth forests, and we have some really big concerns with coal seam gas mining and water reserves and things like this. But at the end of the day, what we're talking about is sustainability of our culture and how we're going to be able to all work together at the end of the day to have a sustainable lifestyle. And so one of the ways of doing that is community gardens. So when we have a community garden, what we're doing is we're creating a network of people working together, coming together, and you have the ability to have food in your local area that is at the resource of anybody. So there's a system where when you have a community garden, it's not just your responsibility, one person's responsibility to keep the harvest of the food going, but everyone works together. That means it's survival of the most cooperative, which is a law that we see in nature all the time. And that is how you create the strongest weave. You know, if everybody's working together, then that creates really strong bonds. But if it's just one singular family, one singular person, if something happens to that one person and they're not sort of interdependent on all these other people, then that person can fall over and suffer. And it's the same as nature. Biodiversity holds keys to keeping, it's like a security system. Biodiversity is a security system. So it's the same in our own culture, our own society. So by creating a community garden, and this is a living eco-art garden, which has a whole nother level to it. So creating this community garden in this local area, we're encouraging people, we're encouraging community to come back together to create some networks that are going to help them. And this is about making sure that food resources are local, so that you're not doing extra food miles. Your food's organic. You're helping out your local community. There's so many things that can come from a community garden, and this particular garden is very exciting. It's called a natural garden, which is a system of sustainable gardening where you're not adding nutrients and fertilizers and pesticides, and you're not tilling and turning the soil, and you're letting the fertility build itself naturally within the garden. And one of the ways of doing that is allowing some of those weeds, things that we think are weeds, to just do their job. They're all doing a particular job of creating fertility within the soil structure, and that's a little bit of a complicated process. I won't explain that right now, but really what we're doing is allowing nature to do its own thing. And basically when that weed has come just before it's gone to seed, then you can pick it up then and lay it over, or it'll die. Actually, a lot of the time it'll die off by itself, and that adds the nutrients to the soil, because in nature you don't have to add nutrients. Everything is provided, everything is already there. Nature really knows what to do. So that's the garden side of this creation that we're here to do today. The other part of it is art, and art is a way of communicating visually. And when you create something interesting, it's a picture. Then they say a picture speaks 1,000 words, and I find for myself pictures have been very important in my life and communicating to me, because everybody learns in a different way. So we've been working with the youth at this is Chain Valley Bay Community Hall right behind me. But we've been working with the youth who are just like a 20-minute walk away from here, and they walk through the bush to get here, at Lake Mamora High School. And these students have been working for around about 9 months to create all of this work, and I'll show you this work in a minute. We have all these downpipes, we have rainwater heads, as you can see behind me, we've painted rocks, and we've done it in a way that we've been talking about the interconnectedness of all of nature. And the students understand that that this garden is going to be watered from the roof, the rain coming from the roof, down through the downpipe, and then into these gardens, and I'll explain that later. So the sculpture in itself has a purpose, and the sculpture also represents interconnectedness, and interconnectedness of ourselves with nature and just with everything, because like I was saying before, those bonds that we're talking about, they're always there. Even if we're not necessarily aware of them, we're always interconnected to everything else. There's no way of ever separating us out from each other. We'll just thrive more as a society if we can understand the importance of that interconnectedness and honour that.